Here we are. How I detached from my ex-husband as a single mom of 3. My name is Claudia Cristina. I am a mother, a feminine energy thought leader, and a healer. And I'm so excited to bring you the feminine channel. If you're here, then you may know me from Instagram as the single mom of 3 children living in Mexico. I have twins. They are 3 years old, and I have an older son. He is 9. And I left a 12-year relationship nearly 2 years ago now. It's been 2 years since my marriage ended. My ex-husband and I, we met when we were 19 in university, and we were together for 12 years. We got married, about 5 years ago. And he was my best friend. He was the person I would talk to about everything. We traveled the world together. I literally thought that I could not live without him. I thought that my life would end when I wasn't with him. And what happened is my life had begun when that marriage ended. It was a death, and it was a death of that version of myself. So since that time, I've built a feminine energy healing coaching business. I host retreats here in Mexico where I live. I've served hundreds of women. I've rebuilt myself piece by piece. And oh my gosh, I really hope that the power doesn't go out while I'm making this video, because I hear thunder. It's the power. So I felt like Instagram couldn't hold all my truth. I needed a deeper space. And I was so scared to launch this, but this is the first video, and here we go. I have my notes right here. So my marriage ended really about year 10, when I got so physically sick. I was breaking out in rashes every single night. I couldn't eat anything because anything that I ate would flare me up. And I was just crying, thinking that it would never end. I went to autoimmune specialists, to primary care doctors. I had 20 vials of blood taken, and no one could figure out what was wrong with me. But I knew that it was from the moment where something, which maybe I'll share another time, happened with my ex-husband and I just lost it. I lost it that night. I was crying. I was calling his mom. And you can read more about this in my book, 100 Ways, The Art of Feminine Detachment. But my body was screaming what my spirit, what my feminine soul already knew, that I needed out. I needed freedom. I was meant for more. And so I got really sick. We were living in Costa Rica. We moved to Mexico. And then everything started falling apart. And how I detached is in 3 ways. And it's in the emotional, spiritual, and physical feminine bodies. That's what I work with. Yes, feminine energy can be about being soft and pretty and having your nails done. But I truly believe, with the women that I've worked with the retreats that I've led, retreat, because we just had the first one, but the second one is coming, the Rebirth and Rise retreat. I truly believe that feminine energy means being in full control of the 3 feminine bodies, being in full control of your emotions, of yourself. Know all of yourself to actually know yourself. And that meant that to detach from my ex-husband, I had to go into the fire and come out the other side like a phoenix glowing. So if you're watching this video because he just left you and you're heartbroken and you're sitting there on the bathroom floor and you're crying and you're trying to hold it all together, the house, the kids, I know. I've been there. And I'm here to tell you it gets so much better. And I have the blueprint and the tools for you to get better. So let's talk about the first part. So the emotional detachment, this is the piece that I feel like so many women can miss because we want to numb our emotions, or as little girls, we felt like we were too much. You're not too much. So scream, cry, go fully into the feminine emotions, the femotions, I call them, femotions. Go into your femotions. They're your superpower. Maybe you're feeling this deep, dark cloud of depression over you right now. That's the superpower. Go into it. Feel it all. And most women, they bypass this stage. They don't let themselves collapse. I've had to collapse so many times so that I could step into another version of me. And this is the release that I had to go through, where I wasn't resisting it anymore. I was just like, I remember I sat there on my bed and I was screaming and crying, and you guys saw this on my other socials. And I was just like, please, whatever power there is, please just, am I going to be okay? And believe me, you're going to be more than okay. So let yourself fall apart. Get a pillow and scream. There's like 60 ways in my book, The Art of Feminine Detachment, things that you can do to release. Because what happens is through the heartbreak, through breakups, we leak our feminine energy to the man because of the emotions. Okay, I'm going to have some water. This is just water because I have to pick up my kids. For now, it's just water. Love myself a little glass of red wine. But, so we take on emotions, okay? Anxiety, fear, sadness, anger, resentment. That's why my face was breaking out. My eyes were cloudy. My eyes were dark. My hair was falling out. I look 10 years younger now than I did then at 23. So you take on the emotions in the physical body, and then it clouds your soul, it clouds your spirit, it clouds who you actually are. So I had to detach by feeling it all, okay? And then I could rebirth myself. And I rebirthed myself with all these spiritual practices, with burning him away. I have a ritual in the book with burning him away. With, I've done all the things. Ayahuasca, mushrooms, frog poison combo. I've done so many things. So if you want to do them, do whatever you want. But I've done it, so you don't have to. So inside my book, I talk about all of these spiritual, right? Because you've got your soul. You have your soul. And feminine energy, it doesn't come from the way that you look. Feminine energy comes from like a queen-centered place, like a queen energy. And you get to that with the spiritual feminine body. So I moved, I danced, I went to different ceremonies. I took ice baths. I slept with my ex-husband again, multiple times. And this is the raw and the messy that no one is talking about. So many of my clients, and including myself, we go back to our ex-husbands because he's your safety, because he's familiar. And we sleep with them again, and then boom, we activate that spiritual, energetic cord again. And so it's harder to detach. So a year into our separation, I was living here. Oh my God, please, the power don't go out. I was living here alone in Mexico with my 3 children. And right after our relationship ended, my ex-husband left Mexico. So I was here alone with the kids. And then a year passed, and somehow we reconciled for a couple months. I said, okay, let's date again. And now the reason that he came back to me, and I talk more about this in my book, if you're curious how to get him back, but that's a whole other video. And yes, I could teach that, is you have to become so into yourself. You have to be, if you want to be in your feminine power and feminine energy, if you want to detach, you have to be into you first. You have to be a little bit narcissistic. Being a little bit narcissistic is going to go a long way into you finding your power again, doing things for yourself, taking time for yourself, making sure that taking your vitamins, taking care of yourself. Now, we dated again, and that was part of the detachment. That's the part that no one talks about, is sometimes you need to circle back so that you know that this isn't the right thing, but you're not going to be circling back forever, but you will be stuck in this loop for the rest of your life of loving him if you're going through separation and divorce, if you don't come back to yourself and be a little bit narcissistic with yourself and know that you are your own inner masculine. You are your own inner man. So in my feminine energy teachings, we have a feminine side and a masculine side. And what I realized is that I wasn't tapped into my inner man. I wasn't tapped into my inner masculine. And that's where the physical detachment comes in. So that's discipline, devotion to yourself. Like, I've got my own back. And in the book, I have 3 rituals that you can do. And the last ritual is all about tapping into that inner man, feeling that inner man. Because if you want a man to come back to you, or if you just want to detach from him, you need to feel your own inner man. And that starts with, I started doing things and I started following through with them. That's discipline, because that's what masculine energy has. Masculine energy has this like, go, do, get it done, it's done. That's how I launched my business. In my masculine energy, I was so scared. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know first when I was coaching. No one really has any idea what they're doing, but make promises to yourself and follow through with them. Devote yourself to yourself. Starting this YouTube channel, I'm so proud of myself. I'm detaching even more because I'm keeping a promise to myself. I said, when I get 100,000 followers on Instagram, I'm going to launch my YouTube, where I think we're at like 117 or 118. And I launched it now, but I did it. I kept that promise to myself. Okay, so to summarize what we have so far. First, we have the emotional detachment. You have to feel it all. I felt it all. I went into the fire. I didn't resist it, because the more that you resist the heartbreak, the more the universe is going to keep beating you down. So you just have to sit there and fester in it and feel it. And that's what my method, the emotional healing method, is all about, releasing this and then rebirthing another version of you and then rising as another version. So after you felt it all, and then you've done some kind of spiritual practice for yourself, whether it's yoga or ice baths, or you've taken your power a little bit, you're dressing different. I started dressing different. I started going out with friends. I was in that rebirth process. I started dating again. And, I've dated all kinds of men, and there will be absolutely other episodes about dating and relationships here on this channel, because that's huge. And it's all part of the process. It's step by step. It's day by day. It's week by week, month by month, year by year. And now we're in the rising. So then we get into feeling good, moving your body. I started moving my body. I started getting more in touch with my physical body. And really, the art of feminine detachment is the art of a safe nervous system. Okay, because we are addicted to unsafety. So if you've been with an addict, if he's been abusive, if he's an alcoholic, if he's cheated on you, if he's in control of the money, you've lived with your nervous system like that for years, and your nervous system thinks that is safe. So then you're attracting ghosters, you're attracting men who abandon you, you're attracting the same thing from your nervous system. And my nervous system was all over the place. So I had to heal my nervous system by coming into my body and being like, I've got you, Claudia. Like yesterday I was in the shower and I was like, yeah, like I've got myself. I'm my own biggest fan. No one could read my book. No one could watch my Instagram. No one could do anything. And I'm my own biggest fan. I know I'm good. I know I love myself. That's the art of feminine detachment. And so you get to that place by feeling, by exploring, by dating, all the things. So one of my clients messaged me. It was yesterday or the other day. And she was like, Claudia, you told me to go to the gym. And I went to the gym and I did this aqua water class. And Claudia, this is some kind of secret. She said, I feel like a new woman. It's when you force yourself to do the things that you don't want to do, or the things that are scary, that you retrain your nervous system, your feminine energy opens, your channel opens, and you begin to heal. That's the art of feminine detachment. My book, 100 Ways, The Art of Feminine Detachment, is everything that I did in the last 2 years to detach from him, written from my blood, sweat, tears, and wine. Now, so emotional, spiritual, and physical detachment. That's what I did. And I don't chase now. Where are we at now? I don't chase. I magnetize. And that's what feminine energy does. Feminine energy magnetizes because it's this coming home to yourself and then rippling out into the world of, I can do this. I've got my own back. So thank you so much for listening. Remember that if you're watching this because you want to detach, you can do it. You can do it by feeling it all. You can do it by trying new things, by dating again, and it's step by step. You've got you. And if I did it, I know that you can detach too. Thank you so much for watching this new channel. Subscribe. That feels kind of weird, but subscribe. We're going to be talking about all things feminine energy, magnetism, relationships, dating, detaching, single mom life, all the things. So if you're new here, My name is Claudia Cristina, and I'm so happy to meet you. Until the next one. Mwah! Talk soon.